Good morning, traders and investors around the world, and welcome to Thursday's edition of premarketinfo.com, where we prepare you for the most important hour of the day, the first hour. Well, good morning, Dennis. We got a little over a 27-point range in the S&Ps this morning, rebounding from yesterday's sell-off.
Yeah, we were actually trading down there late last night, but like we say, always when everybody's in bed, that's when the market comes in and starts rallying or selling off. And yesterday they decided to rally them, so had a drastic move. So from the time I was sleeping to the time I woke up, we rallied basically 20 S&P points. Again, always the moves are overnight.
Okay, we took out yesterday's low by about 4.5 points here, made a low at 12.18 and a quarter. If that stands as the low of the day, we have an upside target only 6 points above here at 1250.75. Let's keep an eye on yesterday's intraday high at 1249 and a quarter. So expect good resistance from this 1249 and a quarter level up to 1250.75. Coming back on the downside, just like we cut through it yesterday, we don't have a heck of a lot. I'd call some mild support here at the halfway on the day here at the 1232 level. If we in fact do take out the Globex low, let's look for 1208.50, which is the 7-day low or last week's low. Just looking at the S&P chart over the last the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, kind of found another range here, kind of from 1220 to 1280. So we break down below this 1220 to 1208 level, could signal a move back to those October lows. Moving on to Apple Computer. Had a nice rally yesterday, made a new low, currently trading at 397.50. Let's keep an eye on the close as well as Wednesday's low at 393.23. Coming back on the upside, Dennis, got the gap to fill between Wednesday's high and Tuesday's low at 489 to 401.56. In between that, Dennis, I don't see a whole lot.
Yeah, I'd probably use that 400. We've talked about this 400 for the last month here. But again, I would use that for a key swing number. Probably gives you resistance, off the hop here. Obviously did yesterday too, 489. So, you got to give it a little bit. But 400 just seems to still be a magnet. I don't know, Joel. That was obviously an awful day for the market there yesterday. We're getting a bounce back day to day. Sometimes these bounce back days are the days to sell when you see such a drastic move before. So I wouldn't be surprised, if this were my rally didn't hold up. And Apple itself, obviously we had the breakout day a couple days ago, then the breakdown day yesterday. So I don't know. I almost am tempted to, look at that 400 area as a possible shorting area now. And, and in the low 390s, you're going to see some support in Apple. But if it gets below there, it opens right up.
Okay, Exxon Mobil made a high at 78.93, managed to get over Tuesday's low there, so we don't have a gap. So let's call that 78.93 up to 79 to be excellent resistance in Exxon Mobil this morning. Coming back on the downside, we are trading above the close, so let's use that 77.39 down to yesterday's low at 77.03 as good support. After that, we got a little stopping point at 76.5, but the major support is at the weekly low at 75.45.
There's major resistance up at 80. That's a little ways away from here. I think you're going to start to see, we had that sell-off pretty drastic there, 2 days ago, or yesterday, and now a little bit of a bounce back again today. You got to think people, that got caught here, they're going to use this opportunity, to maybe get out of some of their longs or possibly to initiate some shorts. So, again, I wouldn't be surprised. Same story as Apple. I wouldn't be surprised if this rally didn't hold up in Exxon Mobil either.
Okay, IBM, after rejecting that 188 level on several occasions, sold off yesterday. We do have a gap in this one between Wednesday's high and Tuesday's low, so expect excellent resistance from 185.28 up to 185.51. We are trading above the close, so that close of 182.24 should be some temporary support. Below that, 181.16 down to 180.74, which was the weekly low. Should be an excellent place to cover some shorts or perhaps initiate a long this morning.
Yeah, so many of these stocks, same thing here, Joel. Just had a terrible day yesterday where we were drifting up. We were testing that 188 2 days ago. Obviously, that held, and boom, just a terrible day for the stock yesterday. Stock is bouncing $1 here this morning, but I think, you get in this 184 area, 185 area like you were talking there too, Joel, you're going to see sellers.
Okay, Microsoft kind of moved yesterday for a change. That stock did not get much above Tuesday's low, only by 7 cents. So I do remember us talking about that area as a good swing area to try a long or low risk long or short. The short ended up being the right call there. Couldn't quite get to that $26 level. Got a little pop to close at $26.20. Currently trading up to $26.50 level. So that resistance, 26.80, is starting to look better and better here. And of course, you got to pay attention to $26 on the downside.
Yeah, it really is, Joel. That stock's just seen major resistance up there. Call it 27, and obviously the 27.40 we talked about. But anytime the stock gets into the high 26s, low 27s, it's finding sellers. It's been the story for the last month. And there has been buyers. We talked about that 26 area, 26.06, so it almost got there yesterday. You will see some support probably again at 26. But I still think the trade on this is, selling in the high 26s.
Okay, Chevron Corporation really didn't get beat up as bad as some of the other stocks that we follow here in the Big Ten. It did manage to nick Tuesday's low there, Wednesday's high, right in the same area. So that turned out to be a great number. Will be as again today, since we have not reached that level. 106.50. Use that as resistance above there. Things open up. Coming back on the downside, 104.28 was the close, but better support would be at 103.88 as Wednesday's low. If in fact we do take out that 103.88 level, look out below. I don't see much until 100.79, which was last week's low.
I think that's the way to play it too. Obviously you can sell the rallies, but you're going to take some heat. But it starts to break down below that low of yesterday. Then it starts to open up. You're right to the 101 area. But maybe rallies are meant to be sold here too. All these charts look the same to me, Joel. These nice drifts and run-ups, and we had the huge breakdown day yesterday. Now it's almost like a nice setup for the shorts where you get this rally. We always talk about like 50% retracements, setups like that, and that's what you kind of see bounce back rally. Really, is the Italy problem solved here, Joel? Probably not. So, you can say, maybe they get a plan in place, but I don't know if this is going to get solved overnight. So, we're getting a nice rally here that looks pretty juicy from a short perspective.
Okay. All right. You're right. A lot of familiar themes here. J&J, after having a strong day on Tuesday, just kind of puked and gave it all back yesterday. Made a low here at 63.10, taking out Monday's low, which was 63.25. You got the close at 63.58, currently trading above that level. Look for resistance at yesterday's high, which was 64.13. Coming back on the downside, if we do crack that 63 level, we have some multi-day lows at 62.16 to 62.31.
Yeah, I think you'll see some resistance in the 64 area on this stock too. Mid 64s, there's always been, we talked about this for the last month too, there's been resistance all over the place in the mid 64s to high 64s. But if you're a bit aggressive, which some people might be, that resistance might actually start, around the high yesterday of 64.13.
Okay, Procter & Gamble, after breaking out of that 64.50 area, or 63.50 area, looks like it was more of a fake out than a breakout, because we just got barely above that level yesterday, 63.83 high. Sold off, couldn't quite get to the weekly low at 62.37, making a low at 62.56. PG getting a little bounce this morning. This stock is just getting tired here, just kind of hanging out. I don't look for a big breakdown until we take out 62.37, and you'll find good resistance up at yesterday's high, 63.83, up to that 64 level.
Yeah, and you got great support down here too. If you guys were aggressive yesterday, 62.56. We talked about 62.50 area being support. Again, I think you'll find some support there. But this stock starts getting up there, into the high 63, 64 area, and it's going to find sellers as well.
Okay, AT&T, those highs just keep coming down. 29.25 was the high yesterday. Took out that 28.90 level we were looking at, closed at 28.91. Let's hold on to this 28.80 level is good support. Below that, we're looking for a test of the weekly low at 28.62.
I'd love this stock to get up in the 29.40s to try shorting it off that 29.50 again. I don't know if it's going to get that much gas, though. Probably not today. Trading 29.07 right now, so it's 40 cents away. So definitely I'd be a seller up in the 29.40s if it was to get up there. On the chart, again, I was arguing on some of these. There is a trend there. You can look at the last month and a half. There is a little uptrend there following, but I don't really see that much relevance in that. But if you're a trend trader, you could be aware of that. And the lower end of that trend would probably be around yesterday's low of 28.80.
Okay, General Electric sold off on the day. That 16 level wasn't that good a support. Broke down to 15.75, which was a low back from in October. Got a little bounce below this 15.75 level. I'm looking for the October 7th low at 15.24. Coming back on the upside, probably start to run into a little bit of trouble here. I see we're trading at 16, but let's call that mild resistance, and then better resistance up at the 16.19 level, which was Wednesday's high.
I see a head and shoulders pattern formed here the last month and a half, if you look at it. Obviously, we got up to 17. We broke it. You kind of got the head up there to 1740. We didn't quite get as high, back to that 17. But now we've kind of broke that, they say that neckline. And that's what that 16 was. It was that neckline. Now this is coming up and retesting. So, again, with that breakdown day yesterday, I would not be surprised if this 16 area, didn't hold and we went to retest yesterday's lows and possibly lower.
Okay, Coca-Cola tested, got very close to testing the weekly low at 66.78, making a low at 66.86 with a close at 67.03. Popping up a half a point here, currently trading at 67.50. Look for Wednesday's high, 67.99, call it 68 to be good resistance on that. Below the that weekly low, you have some other numbers to take a look at. The 11-day low at 66.40 and the 17-day low at 66.01. A
little tight for time here again, so I'll just say $68 I think will be major resistance on this. You'll probably find some sellers in 67.80s and 67.90s today.
Okay, we'll be right back with our market movers.